Hello, Blue Justin here. Still Justin, still a little bit achy but improving, so I'm not blue. And I'm afraid there are no arrivals today, but then again, considering the arrivals yesterday, here we go, the arrivals yesterday of the anime online titles that I ordered last Friday, and the, that little thing like a brand new multi-region 4K player, I think I can be forgiven for not actually spending so much money that I have for something arrive every single day. So today I'm just going to go through what I have been watching, and yes, okay, what I ordered. I know, but it's reasonable, trust me. You'll see when you get there. Let's start off with the watching though. Guess what? I watched another couple of episodes of NCIS New Orleans. Almost doesn't really need saying, but I want to say it because otherwise there's no point in saying this is what I did related to media today. Sometimes just progressing in something is part of the daily journey if you're going to do it a whole month at a time. I don't necessarily get to watch something totally different or a new film, and I don't, once obviously I've started a season of something, I'm not going to suddenly chop and change each day with what season or whatever it is I'm watching. So I'm afraid NCIS New Orleans Season 2 is what you're stuck with at the moment. So yeah, it was one of the episodes was a bit happy or whatever, but it was a Christmas episode, so I'll let them off. More interesting were the large-ish number of YouTube videos I watched today. Phill with a double L. I watched his recent one very recent, just out one on his announcing giving up physical media. Well, I guess that wasn't really the case before I watched it, and as soon as you start watching you'll understand as well. But it's an interesting subject in that he has to stay away from his media collection for work purposes for a significant period of time, and he's seeing how he can survive with just streaming or what streaming is available to him, etc. And he has accepted suggestions, or maybe challenges, depending on what you call those suggestions, from a number of his friends on what he should watch while he's away. So his responses to those are going to be very interesting when he does. So yeah, I've only watched that quickly. So yeah, it's more. I think that's going to be more of a running type of series whilst he is away from his collection, which is going to be quite interesting, I think. Right, whatever. I watched belatedly, I think, AJ's movie place. AJ returning from holiday in Cornwall, and he had a couple of arrivals whilst he was away, and he opened those up. And so yeah, I watched those. Or I watched that and him opening those. Like I said, I think that was one from a little while ago. I was just catching up, as I meant to do on a day where nothing was arriving, and I was not going anywhere because my back was still not allowing me to do a lot. I also, as I suggested I would yesterday, visited Lisa Love's channel because I've been neglecting her videos, which are always forthright, shall we say. She almost always, whether or not she agrees with other people's opinions. Sometimes she does, sometimes she doesn't, but she's always willing to stand up and say if she doesn't, and good for her. I mean, there's no point in everybody just sat there jumping on the same bandwagons. So it's very interesting to watch a couple of her videos. She opened up the big book of lists, which I was referring to, that Makes Movies took the idea, because she's got the same book, and Megs is using it for her subscriber only, so not subscriber, members only videos, and Lisa Loves it continued on her journey through the book, was the one I saw. And today the one I watched was Lisa's top 10 biopics, or biopics, depending on how you pronounce it. I'm pretty sure that I used to pronounce it incorrectly, and now I can't remember which one's right. Yes, I think it's biopics is the correct pronunciation, isn't it? I just think it looks better as biopics, but anyway. And so, yeah, she did her top 10 biopics, which were quite interesting, and I had someone who just it doesn't really watch biopics. That was I knew that I wouldn't know a lot of the films, or if I knew them, I just knew them by what they were about, and would be going, yeah, but I'm not really interested in watching it. It's not my thing. But it was interesting nonetheless to see which one she recommended and why. I also saw her very interesting video of her responding to her thoughts on her husband's top 10 favourite movies. Apparently that's doing the rounds. Not doing the rounds is a bit of a dismissive way of saying it. That's an idea that has caught on amongst YouTubers, BluTubers at the moment. So maybe in the coming weeks, after it's gone out of fashion again, and I have finished the my July daily vlogs, I shall ask my wife to put down her top 10, and I shall respond to those. And as Lisa says, she doesn't claim it's her idea, but it is an interesting new take on top 10s, so that's always good. And top 10s are usually quite popular with people, because it's really nice to see other people's opinions. And in this one is obviously not only a top 10 of someone you don't know, it's a top 10, but it's obviously, yeah, like I said, of someone you don't know, but it is of someone you follows, what their thoughts on it are, like a second-hand top 10, if you know. So is that all my watching today? I think it might have been. Yes. So yes, however, after all my watching, actually I think it was before my watching, but that's neither here nor there, I put in a couple of orders. Well, it was a single order for 2 items, because Indicator Films have announced they are releasing 2 titles on October the 20th. And so I put in my order for those 2 titles. I got the 2 for. I got them both on 4K, but they are available on Blu-ray. They're both limited edition. I believe they're limited to 5,000 each, 4,000 4Ks and 1,000 Blu-rays. So if you want to get the rarer one, get the Blu-rays. But I'm going for the not so rare, but it's quality, because I've got a new 4K player. I'm going for the 4Ks. The titles that Indicator are putting out are Plot of Fear and Hitchhike. And if you get them from their home site, or Powerhouse site, which Powerhouse Films' own indicated label sort of thing, if you go to that site and order both films, I don't know if they have to be in the same format, but I imagine if you're going to order one in 4K, you'd order the other in 4K anyway, which is what I did. And if you ordered one in Blu-ray because you haven't got a 4K player, then you'd order the other in Blu-ray. So I don't know if you can mix or match. It might be possible. However, the point I'm getting to in a very, very roundabout way is that if you put in the code bundle, which is I believe it's on the page, but if it's not, it comes with an email. If you get to their emails, it will knock 10% off the combined price. And usefully enough, knocking 10% off the combined price of the 4Ks still leaves it a smidgen, that little much, above £50. And £50 means above means you get free package and posting. So I think that might be better than the Blu-rays, because I don't know how much package and posting is from Powerhouse stroke Indicator, but it might well be that it's worth getting the 4Ks just because you don't have to pay it, rather than the Blu-rays and getting 10% off, and that meaning you do have to pay postage and packing. Just quickly for the films themselves, I made a couple of notes for you. Probably try to bring that around the front. Plot of Fear, the plot, is basically some bizarre murders occurring, linked by pages from a German children's book being left at the scenes, and it's described as a dark and perverse thriller, and it's co-written by Federico Fellini and the other person who's co-writing it. I can't remember their name, and I couldn't pronounce it. Maybe I should have written it down, but it is the co-writer of Deep Red, one of the co-writers of Deep Red, with Federico Fellini, who is the co-writer of this one. So that was Plot of Fear. Yeah, obviously it's a detective tracking down in this dark thriller. Hitchhike is more of what you might expect from that type of. Second you think of hitchhikers, you don't pick up hitchhikers, for goodness sake. This one is someone stops to pick up a hitchhiker, and surprisingly enough, the hitchhiker turns out to be a psychopath who's escaped, and instructs the driver to drive them down to Mexico. And as they drive down to Mexico, a trail of dead bodies is left in their wake, which, that's not very nice, is it? It's littering, really. It is described as a strong thriller, but it's filled with black humour. So that's obviously the approach they're taking in that one. Both of the films are in Italian, the original mono, but they've also got a mono English track. I think the first one, that's Plot of Fear, I think that's simply got an English mono dub. On the second one, Hitchhike, it's got the Italian version and the English version of the film. They might be slightly different cuts, but the obviously the English version is in fully, probably dubbed English. So I'm assuming it's just a recut version, slightly for whatever reason. And that will be about the size of it. So yeah, I ordered both of those, and like I said, with 10% off for the 4Ks, it comes to just over £50. So yeah, and that was it for today, watching and ordering. I don't think I'm expecting anything tomorrow either, so I shall be watching probably more NCIS New Orleans. I would be very surprised if I didn't, and I'll see if I've got any more YouTube videos that I can watch. And what I sure will be watching is Hordes of Horrors review for tomorrow evening, which is one of her. So she puts out reviews on Mondays and Fridays at approximately 7 to 7:30, I believe. So tomorrow evening I'll be watching that before I record tomorrow's video, and I shall report on my thoughts, but I'm sure I'll enjoy it. Okay, so I think that's it for today, and like I said, I'm not expecting anything tomorrow, though I will, of course, I will be letting you know what the Anime Online deal of the week is. The one I received yesterday was last Friday's deal of the week, which goes live at about 12:30. That's what it actually says on the site, between 12 and 12:30. They're not fixing it. It's almost like they don't make up their mind until a bit late. Let's decide today. And so yeah, I'll let you know what that deal of the week is and whether I think it is worth picking up. Obviously, I'll give them a quick description and give the price points of reductions and that sort of thing, and see and give you all the information you need if you're into anime at all. So that, I think, is it for today. If you liked this video or like the series, please hit the like button, it really does help. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and please put a comment down below and I will respond to it, because I really like to engage with the people who watch my channel, and I like to have input from them on what they're thinking about my output. So thank you very much indeed for watching, and until tomorrow, bye.